Hey guys, welcome back to it. Working on the Volvo once again. So this week, I think we're going to be trying to do some more of the wiring and everything in there, trying to get all the air ride stuff prepped and ready to go. If you missed, we got a live stream done on TikTok. Crooked V70 is my tag there. We pulled all this stuff out, got all the junk took out of the back of there, got that cleaned up, got all the wires out. So we got our sub wires there, got everything switched out from over here, got all that took out, got the amplifier took out. And then we came over here and got the actual gauge pods, got those took off the A-pillar, got all the wires took out of the wheel well here, and then got the LEDs off and actually repaired them. So this one was split in half from the crash. Got that fixed up. And then over here, got all the power wires set out and ready to go. So we got sub wire, we got the pump wire, we got our pods wire. And then right here, something I showed all the guys on TikTok there, we're actually gonna have a light bar. So I got a light bar here. I've seen a bunch of the guys over in Sweden have a bunch of light bars on their cars, and it made me kind of want one. So think about putting one right there. What do you guys think? All right, so step one to doing any good project is to clean up. I've made a little bit of a mess here, so I'm going to kind of organize everything here, and I'll be right back. Oh my goodness, what is this? Empty space? Oh my goodness. I don't know about you guys, but cleaning everything up, oh my goodness, makes me feel like I'm doing a whole lot better. That pile right there may or may not have been sitting there for almost a year. That's kind of my bad. But all of that was all within the last month. I got this stuff over here still because that's what we're going to be working on today. So hopefully we're going to be getting all the power lines ran from the battery, run up into the floor pan right there, side through the inside, and then we're going to pop all of them out right behind the seat right here. And we should hopefully get the radio, the amplifier, and the pumps all at least got the power and everything. Don't know if we're going to get them 100%, but I got everything sitting right here on the table ready to go. So we're just going to get those pumps, get all those, get the boost gauge, get the oil pressure sensor, wideband, head unit, stereo, everything, and then we'll be right back. So in our first step of these wiring escapades we gotta do, we're gonna get that A-pillar ready. So we can see it's already broke right here, so that'll help take it apart. We're gonna take this apart, we're gonna take the dash part right there, and then we're gonna pop the radio out. Luckily, the radio has some nice little taps. All we gotta do is pop that button right there, and it should come out. Like that. Like that. And then we just pull it. Like that. And the whole thing just pops out. And then we'll add this to our collection of ever-growing usable parts. Ta-da! Alright, so I had to do a little bit of sanding right there to get this in, but now we did a little bit of sanding to fit snug like a bug. We can go ahead and get this radio in there, and then all we'll have to do is run the aux cables and we'll be ready to go. Alright, that took a little bit more work than I thought. Apparently there's a metal bar right here, and had to drill that out to be able to get it. So a little bit harder than I thought. So now we can take our power on wires. So this is a power on wire that goes up to the speaker up there, or the radio. Goes up there, goes here to power this on. This yellow one is gonna go over here to turn the amplifier on. So then all we gotta do is plug our main power in, our ground into that side, and then get our aux cables. Oh, they're hung. Get our aux cables, plug them in there, and we should be up and running. And just like that, it's all wired up. Let me clean this up and we'll be right back with a little snap. After I did all that work of making it look all nice and neat, I realized it's too low down. The interior piece won't go in there, so I gotta lift it back up like 3 inches. Back to it. And there you go, and just like that, everything's all velcroed up. There you go. I got a self-tapper behind here holding it down. And I scooted it all the way up to the top of the chair, so whenever I flip it back, that way it's not going to be sitting right on this, and I can have space for the carpet. Aha! Okay, so now that we got all that done, we can put the seat back up, and now we got to figure out what to do here. So, before you guys yell at me, the previous owner already had this opened up, so I figured I might as well fix the fuel leak while I'm at it. So he only had it open up like there. I went ahead and pulled it over there and fixed the fuel leak. So now we can start bending this back down and put the ground on right here. And then we got our TikTok live going there. So if you guys ever want to join me, I'm just kind of working usually sometime after 5-ish, 6-ish, weekdays, weekends, whenever. Sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not. Just kind of vibing. So I'm going to take some of these like angle pieces, because I got a ton of these angle pieces of steel, and I'm going to flatten them out, and then I'm going to use that to patch the hole. And so now we'll have a piece of flat kind of like that, so we kind of shove it underneath there, and we'll use those two like that, and we'll patch it up. And then just like that, we got that all patched up, got all the sharp spots bent back down, got our ground done, and we got our wires for our subwoofer and everything all tucked back in there, and nice and neat. And then we got the wire right here. I got it sitting in the front seat right now for the air ride control. This side's not done yet, but we got it coming through here. All our power wires are right there. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna find a spot through the firewall, go through there, go to power, and then we're gonna go up in here for our radio and coaxial RCA jacks here. Alright guys, we're in my sticker workshop here. I make all kinds of vinyl decals and stuff for people. But look what came in for the V70R. So we got some vinyl wrap for the roof and the hood. So it's going to be a nice sparkly black on that orange. It's going to look great. And then if you're wondering why, because see the paint's all nice here, but then if you look up here, look at the roof. Don't tell me what happened here. I think the guy said it was from sun damage, but I don't know. This looks like it's so good down here, but then this doesn't have any clear coat on there. I'm thinking he tried to paint it or something like that. So, because this is down straight to metal right here. So, I want to wrap this all in that sparkly black, and then I'm thinking about doing the hood too so it matches. Alright guys, so we got a little bit of a distraction here. So set up the booth. So we got our booth here. We set this up usually about once a week or so. So this is how I pay for my car parts, and we get to look at some cool cars too while we're at it. So once I get done with this distraction, we'll be back to work. Alright, so I lied. So we got one more distraction. So I got to put a big old banner on her here. So we're going to put a bunch of banners there and a bunch of banners there on for the Kingdom Fitness here. We'll do that. Give me a few minutes and we'll be right back. I'll show you how it looks. Alright, I'm going to give you guys a little update. We got the first half done. Looks pretty nice. So we got free weights, cardios, machines, CrossFit, and everything else like that. Got all the trash down there. Then we're going to do something similar on the same side over there. Took about, let's see, it's 2 o'clock now. I started at like 12, so it took about 2 hours to get that done, get all the bubbles out, make it look nice. So I took their address and I put it up there because we're going to put another sticker right there to look a little weird with the address on there. So get that back on there and I'll update you when I get it all done. And just like that, we got it all on there, nice and level. Customer's happy, I'm happy with them. And we even got the neighbor next door is thinking about getting some, so here we go. We'll see you guys later. Alright, at this point, I'm gonna just stop saying it's the last time because we got a boys' night out here. We got the super crew guys out here. We're gonna play some talk golf. Hopefully, we don't embarrass ourselves here. Chee! Alright, I figured I'd try a drink, and this thing's got LEDs on it.
Got some points though. Yeah. Nice.
What do we get?
I will take it.
Alrighty, so we got done with the Super Crew golf night. And then hopefully, instead of having the truck out here next time, I'll have the car. So, if nothing else pops up random, I'm going to be working on the car tomorrow. And then I'll get back with you. Hopefully. Alright, I finally stopped lying. This picture of me from the Dragon. And back here at the garage, getting the projector going, getting some music going. I'm gonna finally start getting a little bit more work going on here. So we're gonna try to get the wiring done. Get those going there, get that going up in there. We'll get popping. Alright, back from our time lapse. I figured out this little sticker is coming off. That's kind of annoying. It's not gonna look good. Oh, I made it worse. Oh no, I broke it. Oh, shh. It's fine. But I got the wires down to here, and I routed the actual subwoofer line and the power on switch up to here, and I got this actually plugged in back there. Made sure it's corresponding with one in the back. So now all we gotta do. So my car's, the power on wire is this blue-white wire. So I just got to connect these two, and then the radio should be working. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna toss on some of these heat shrinks right here. So I'm gonna put on the bigger one back here, smaller one up here, and then I'm gonna grab one of these blue capped right here. Make sure we got it in there nice and good. It's a little tall, so we're gonna fold it over. Like that. Make it look all nice and neat. Shove it in there and spin it a little bit. There we go, so now it's seated all the way in. And we're gonna grab this right here, give it a good old crimp. Crimp that nice and good. I usually like to spin it, give it a second crimp. Ooh, if I grab it. There we go. And we'll make sure that's nice and snug on there. Give it a little pull. Make sure it's good. Yep, it's good on there. And so we got our blue and white wire right here. We're gonna take this one and I'm gonna cut it in half, and I already stripped these. So then we're gonna take this piece of heat shrink right here. It's the same size as the other one. We're gonna use that on there. Chuck that into the floor. There it goes. Put these over this. And make sure I grab that one too. And then we're gonna twist these ones together. Slide the heat shrink on. Yep. So I didn't used to always put heat shrink on everything, but ever since I got a heat shrink thing for Christmas, I've been putting it on everything. Now you want to make sure you're not looped around anything you can't get a rack around. Because if you're looped around something you don't want it to be, it's not going to be good. Make sure it's nice and tight. Get on there. Make sure it's good. And get in here with the green ones and crimp it. And get out there, get the second crimp. And then we'll give it a go. Pull, make sure it doesn't pull. Here we go. Neither one of them pulled. So what we'll do is with our bigger heat shrink tube, we'll get these smaller ones right over here, right up against it, and we'll put the big one on top of it. We'll get our heat gun going. Hold it up here, and we'll start getting some heat going there. And this just because that big one's going to leave a little bit of a gap, so I usually like to go from a smaller one to a bigger one. Alright, and while the heat gun's nice and warmed up, we'll slide a big one over. And this is big enough that it actually will slide over top of all that. Like that. There you go. And then in the end, you end up like this. So you got a nice little one on that side, a little one on that side, and you got a big one covering the whole thing. Shouldn't be water in here or anything like that, but it just makes it look a lot better. So when you look in there, you don't see a bunch of spin ties everywhere. And then that one will go all the way back to the back of the car, and it'll turn on the amplifier. Alrighty, and then just like that, we got it in. And I put a little bit of Velcro tape on the bottom of this, plugged it in, and now we got our air ride controller right here. And then we got our speakers and head unit and everything all ready to go. So next thing we got to do, while we still got everything unplugged down here, we're going to rip this up, and we're going to get us a hole in for the firewall, and we're going to start running everything into the engine bay. Alright, giving you guys another update. So we got the wires all tucked up underneath there, and I actually got the headlight switch, not the headlight switch, the LED light bar switch. I got it mounted in there, and then I got all the wires down here through my firewall hole, and I'm going to use that grommet, make them look all nice and neat. But my mom came out here and just gave me an idea. So for the LEDs under the car, the underglow, I'm going to use this old stock switch from my old car, and we use the continuity meter, we figured out that these two got continuity whenever you switch it on. So I'm gonna use this in there, so it'll look like a stock. We'll put that in there, and so when I switch that on my underglow will turn on the car, and then when I want to turn it off, I just boop, turn it off. So we just gotta clean up all these wires and then get those all up there, and then over here we got to get the wires for the boost gauge and everything like that, get those all run up to the A-pillar, get them through the hole, and then we'll start having to tuck everything through the engine bay there, make everything look nice and neat. Alright, back again. Doesn't really look like I've done much, but I went ahead and I got all the wires for the gauge pod. I got them all put up here, and they're all labeled and everything. So I got those all back behind there and going through the hole. Still gotta get all these big old chunk of wires out, get all that out. And then now all I gotta do is get a wire for the LED hooked up to this, and then I'll put that in, run it down through there, and then I'll be able to put all the trim and everything back in. Alright, just like that, I got the original light switch switched on and all wired up. So now all I gotta do is poke it in here like this. That should poke right in there. So now there's a duplicate of that one because that's the one I took from my other car. But so that one will actually do the light, that one will do my fog lights, and then this one will do my LEDs, and that one will do my light bar. There you go, and it doesn't look too bad. I don't know what to do with myself. I've never had a car with all the buttons filled. Does it make this thing a luxury car or something? Full trim? Sheesh! Alright, it's daytime again. So I got all the wires down to the engine bay. I put the I took the old air intake off, and I put my aftermarket box here, so that way we can get an idea where our wires need to go, see where we need to route them. Looks like we're gonna need to kind of go up underneath there, kind of like down there in between the transmission. It's gonna be a tight squeeze, but I'm gonna try to get everything squeezed up in there. I'll be back when I got an update. Okay, so Mom come back, and we're getting into a dilemma. These bags are too big. They're not really fitting in the way I want them to. So she works at a truck store. So we're like, why don't we just use a truck airbag? So this is one for like a cab of a truck. And so fits in there just right. And as long as we can get it to mount up, that should work. I mean, if it holds up a semi truck, it should hold up my truck, right? And I can say it's a Kenworm. So this is how we do it. You get the boys to do the work for you.
Today's topic.
So we took that off and realized that the side marker wasn't working, so I took the side marker off the old car and we put it over here. So I just gotta fuse this into the blinker, and then it should have the little side markers working.
And then it's fault for getting dirty.
Bro, what'd you do? Go dirt mine in there?
Are these grandma's ashes?
Wait a minute.
Wait a fuck.
Aerial bombardment.
Kevin! What the fuck?
Session. Here's your good sound. Alright, Evan, what are we up to?
A little bit of retrofitting.
Retrofitting. Finally working on the other side?
It worked once, it's gonna work again.
Alright, we finally got this side. It's not quite exactly what I was hoping for, but we're gonna test it. We got everything fixed on here. We got a big old bolt up there. We got that at the bottom. We got it mounted down there. We got the smaller bag in, and then our air line is gonna go in from up top like that. Not 100% sure exactly which way it's gonna go, but that's about how it's gonna go. And so now that we got that figured out, we're working on the other side over here, and we're gonna start putting it in over here. So we'll just get this one going, matching them up. Well, I think that might end it off for this week, so that way we can get a video out for you guys. And then we'll continue on next week where we stopped off here. So I got the new bags here. So these new smaller bags are for a Kenworth truck. We're gonna get those to fit in the back there. And then Got the fender liner took out. Gonna put all the wires in there, rewire these. So now I only need one of those instead of needing 2 headlamps for it. I only need the one on the other side. So to the junkyard we go for that, and then we just gotta tuck all these wires up in there, and then I got the air lines around there, and once we get done with that, we should be good to go. But we'll do that, and then we'll see you guys next week.